got some Seeking Sister Wife tea. Garrick Merrifield is currently fighting a case after he was arrested not that long ago after he had this domestic dispute between him and his wife Lorena. And even though he's currently fighting a case, that is not holding him back from trying to find love once again. He's currently on this Luxy dating app. It shows his profile here. It says, "I'm loving and kind and passionate and caring man." It says he's looking for a long-term relationship. It says his charm rating is 41. Like, I don't know if that's good or not. And it shows he's a platinum member. It says non-disclosure, so I wonder if that means you have to sign an NDA to mess with him. I mean, I'm assuming you likely have to do that anyways, because if you do end up dating Garrick, then you're likely going to end up having to come on the show. And even he kind of said that in his profile, that you have to be confident being in the public eye. So that kind of even confirms to me that they're likely going to come back for another season. His About Me said, "I am a loving and kind and passionate and caring man that believes in putting God first in everything so that he blesses everything and gives his love and peace abundantly in the relationship. I'm a business owner and I love to start business. I love helping other people and I love doing charity work." He said he's looking for someone else that loves God and puts God first, someone who also loves doing charity work. He wants someone that desires to grow and become better as a person. Someone that loves adventure, working out, and loves good food. Someone that's open to a big family and okay with us being a plural family. Somebody that's okay with being in the public eye. And I always thought like plural families like posted the whole family on the dating app when they were seeking. Like, why is it just Garrick? Like, why isn't Garrick posting a picture with Danielle? And why is he waiting to the very bottom of the About Me to say that he's plural? Like, that would be the very first thing I'd be mentioning. And he also forgot to mention how important it is to be completely submissive to him. Like Natalia said, I totally forgot about in the last season. She said that one of the big reasons she decided she no longer wanted to be with Garrick is because he was wanting her to give total submission to him and he was not willing to compromise with her. And I wouldn't be shocked if that's one of the reasons why Lorena got upset that caused that big fight that they had. And so I looked into this dating app that Garrick was on, and it's called Luxy. And according to Google, it's a dating app that only serves successful or attractive members. We keep to maintaining a high-level restriction approved by our committee of trustees. Every new applicant can use Luxy for free after passing the review. Luxy calls themselves the best elite and luxury millionaire dating site. It's supposed to be the place where you can meet attractive millionaires such as CEOs, stock traders, business owners. Well, I guess it's the same thing as a CEO. But all the rich people. And somebody was posting in a Reddit group and they're like, "Hey, has anyone heard of this site? I just feel like this would be the perfect site for a sugar baby to potentially meet a sugar daddy." And several people share their experiences being on the site. One person said, "I used Luxy. First of all, if you complete your profile well, you can easily be accepted, which is worrying for a site that claims to be elite. Once I entered, I noticed that the free options are minimal. I have more than 200 matches, but no messages, which is odd until I realized that free profiles can't send messages. And if you look at the profile of these men, almost 98% of them don't have a crown. The crown symbolizes the members who paid the subscription." Okay, let's go back and see if Garrick has a crown. Oh yeah, we see the crown right next to the blue verified check mark. So he's definitely a paid member. And if you get on the site, it can be free if you earn over $200,000 or if you're voted in for being attractive. But if you want to have one of the Luxy premium accounts, then you can pay over $100+ a month to get Luxy Black, or you can pay $999 for a 3-month subscription to their highest tier. And so this person said, I just feel like a lot of guys on here pretend they're millionaires, but their reality is quite different. Someone else said, well, here in the US, it starts at over $100 plus a month for the premium plan, and you have to pay over $400 plus up front just to join. And then someone else said, I'm blonde, tall, and thin. It took me till just a few seconds to try. I don't think it surely looks though. They emphasize having a good profile with interest and a good bio too. I think it's about seeming like a well-rounded person. And someone said, I have tattoos, I'm on there. So it sounds like they take people of all body types. But then there are some people complaining that they feel like it's just like more of one type of male. Like one girl was claiming like she noticed it was all like younger white dudes. Another person said, it seemed hoaxy to me. I got approved alarmingly fast. Like, if it's really supposed to be so exclusive, how did I get approved almost immediately? Also, I'm in New York. You know, that does make sense, though, because they act like they take it to their big group of members and they vote on who gets approved. So how did they all have time to vote that fast? Also, I'm in New York City, which should have plenty of options. Yet most of the people I was seeing on there were in either other parts of the US or international. This wasn't just a setting that I had on either. And also, the app was just clunky. Like, it seemed it hadn't been updated since they made it. And I mean that in the worst way. I deleted it after a month or so. And someone said, yeah, they could make the app better. It also matched with a lot of people from other parts of the world, but I just got the filter trying to find people around me. And someone said, don't they advertise themselves as literally being against sugar dating? And I guess like on their website, like on one of the main pages, as soon as you enter, it says no sugar babies or sugar daddies allowed on Luxy. We do not tolerate the search for sugar dating or any inappropriate relationships. You're going to have to keep that shit on Seeking Arrangements. I mean, if that site's still around, I don't know if it's still around nowadays. And then someone said, it's a scam app. Don't waste your money. There's no real people. Fake, stay away. And that's what I was kind of scared. I saw a few people saying like they feel like they weren't really getting matched with real people. I don't have any proof to back this up. I was just noticing numerous people saying that, and it kind of like reminded me of like the Ashley Madison documentary when they had like all these workers at the company making these fake profiles to make men think that there's all these hot women available on there when they really didn't have as many options as they really thought. And then someone said, this was a sus app. It showed me a bunch of old men, double my age. It showed me a bunch of guys, double my age, locked behind a paywall. I got messages from grandpas in other countries, literally. Not a single profile that viewed me or the community judges, as you call it, are my type. It was giving me the vibes of bots on Tinder. Who made this app? And why do they assume women in their 20s want men that could be their grandpa? Attractive young men are a luxury, it seems like. And then someone else said, I came across this app a few days ago. I was interested not because the men were rich, but more because I got tired of men on the app seemingly intimidated by the car I drove, my confidence, and intelligence. That is not to say I'm over the top in these categories. I just felt like my prospects needed to be more confident. That said, I opted for the approval process versus paying for the membership. I got approved just fine. My experience has been the opposite as some of the women. Too many of the prospects were way too young. Way too young. Then someone else posted in the dating Reddit, they said I downloaded Luxy in the league out of curiosity. Luxy is a red flag. They charge nearly $400 for a membership, and the men are majority 25 plus, inherited money trust fund babies with headers like I want a flexible woman with blue eyes under 21. I'm not even exaggerating. The league was a sea of generically attractive tan white men, not a red flag per se, but definitely catering to a type. not much diversity there. So yeah, if you're a generically attractive, barely legal, blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl with money to spare, you'd probably be the type for these sites. Everyone else, we're too ugly. Peace out. So yeah, that is the dating site that Garrick is currently on. I'm not sure if this is him just getting on this site after things may have went south with Lorena, or if he was on it before. I have a feeling that he's been on this site. You know, I've heard from people who've dated, and I've heard conflicting things. You know, I've heard people have a lot of success on sites like Tinder. I've heard people have horror stories on Tinder and not have any luck at all. And then I've had a few friends who have told me that they had to go the route of paying for a dating app because they felt like they found a better caliber of people through there. Like this, one of my friends said she felt like she wasted less time dealing with a dating app like that, because if a guy's willing to pay for a membership, then he likely has a stable job and is willing to, you know, go out to dinner and pay for it instead of being like, oh, I don't have my wallet, you know, or be on some BS where he can't even pay for a date. Like, you know, straight up that person can at least be financially stable, and I think it saves a lot of stress and gives a lot of peace of mind for people to where it's worth paying that premium amount. And when you're someone like Garrick, who is in the private, or not the private eye, but the public eye, I'm sure like being on a basic app like Tinder, they probably get trolled a lot and have people just waste their time. And I'm sure paying this premium fee saves them a lot of time finding people who are looking for similar things that they're looking for, to the point that they're willing to spend $100 a month to potentially find it. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think.